This simple moment of father and son working together is one link in a chain of simple moments leading to a lifetime of achievement, the beginning of the right track.
I'm Senator Dick Lugar. Earning the Boy Scouts Eagle Badge was a high point of my life. As an Eagle Scout, I found that scouting developed skills that increase educational and employment choices and place young men on the right track throughout life. Scouting prepared me for my service in the United States Navy and as a United States Senator for Indiana. Leadership skills helped me learn the importance of setting and achieving goals and working with others.
For nearly 100 years, the Scouting program has provided fun and adventure to entire generations of young people. Through your involvement in Scouting's programs, you are strengthening family bonds, providing a foundation of character development, and instilling a values-laden program into the life of your son and other young men. Your investment of time, effort, and energy will pay huge dividends as your son matures and becomes a leader of tomorrow.
I can say with absolute certainty that participating in Scouting is one of the 3 or 4 major influencing factors of my life. To this day, I still list being an Eagle Scout on every resume and every biographic profile. The principles that I learned as a Scout are still the ones that I use today to guide me as a father, husband, and business owner. Some of my basic life skills, like sewing and cooking, I learned as a Boy Scout. It was in Scouting that I had my first opportunities to be a leader, and to this day, I utilize principles from my junior leader training. But Scouting also taught me the importance of setting goals and building a team to achieve those goals. I remember when I was starting my first business, just 25 years old, and someone pointed out to me the very low percentages of small businesses that survive the first year, and the even smaller number that make it 5 years. I simply told them, I'm an Eagle Scout, and less than 2% of all Scouts achieve that. This makes the business success rate seem awful small. 16 years ago, and we're still thriving.
Scouting is not another activity that your son participates in after school and on the weekends. It can become a way of life that influences the man that he will become. The highlights of many Scouting experiences can be found in the great outdoors. There is no better classroom than the clean, open air of the wilderness. Boys have fun while challenging themselves mentally, learning new skills and challenging themselves physically.
To keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight, every Scout makes this pledge and reminds himself of this pledge every time he says the Scout Oath. The Scout measures himself against this and continually tries to improve. The goals are high, and as he reaches them, he becomes more in control over who he becomes. Scouting gets youth outdoors, away from TV and video games. We know that kids need physical activity to have a healthy lifestyle. Scouting gives them that. They also learn athletic skills that they can keep throughout their life, whether it be camping, hiking, or orienteering. Scouts also get to see the handiwork of God as they're in the outdoors. They also, as they reflect on God's work, they establish a strong spiritual foundation that they maintain throughout life. Scouting is a way to start and maintain a healthy lifestyle. It's good for boys to be involved in Scouting.
Cub Scout packs and Boy Scout troops from across 25 counties in central Indiana make up the Crossroads of America Council. Our service area provides fantastic programs, excellent resources, and the premier camping facilities in America. Our boys, the men and leaders of tomorrow, are tested and rewarded, all while having the time of their lives. Crossroads of America Council serves over 40,000 families through 10,000 volunteer leaders, men and women that selflessly give of themselves to make Scouting the rich and rewarding experience of growth for all the lives we touch.
I have 2 sons, and they grew up with no dad, pretty much. From the time they were really little, it became evident to me that they needed male role models. We had a firefighter across the street and a guy that built cabinets down the alley, and they would be like magnets, you know, to these guys. And so I thought, well, I'm trying to be mom and dad, but can I be? I'm not sure. My friend who was a Tiger leader said, why don't you put your kids in Scouting? You know, they'll have fun, and, you know, why not? So I said, okay. And as they grew, they got an opportunity to do camping and canoeing and shooting sports and things that they probably wouldn't have had an opportunity to do in my house. And I certainly wouldn't have had the confidence to teach them things like that or take them camping even probably. And in scouting, the thing that's important to me is they learn the three basics. They learn duty to self, duty to God, and duty to country. They learn to be self-reliant, they learn reverence for God, and they learn to be a good citizen, and later on a good leader and a better man. I think that we all try to be the best parents we can, but you can't help it sometimes fall short in one of those three areas. Boys need a strong male role model and mentor, and I don't know any place better than scouting to find people like that.
The Boy Scouts of America has been putting boys on the right track for personal development and achievement for decades, and has assembled some terrific tools and dynamic resources along the way. The Crossroads of America Council has 7 year-round camping facilities, each offering age-appropriate fun and growth experiences, 5 Scout Service Centers, and year-round district and council programs for scouting units, under the direction of a full-time corps of professional scouters and support staff. While you could never put a price and value on a boy's smile, sense of self-worth, or future development, there are real costs to materials and events to which he can avail himself. The Council provides leadership training materials, advancement tracking, program assistance and planning materials, as well as liability insurance and supplemental sickness and accident insurance. To make the scouting experience available to as many boys as possible, the Council offers registration assistance, uniform assistance, and camp scholarships for at-risk and needy youth. Dues money is only a small assistance toward the annual spending for our boys. Crossroads of America Council receives generous support from many of our local United Way agencies. They review our scouting budget and approve and encourage our fundraising efforts. On average, $150 is needed every year to provide programs for each scout in Central Indiana to maintain and continue the highest level of quality service to young people. And unfortunately, there are still some gaps left to bridge.
At the ends or close into the center.
As parents and friends of scouting, you have already given to the growth of our boys, our young men. Your encouragement and support and your time are much needed keys to our mutual success. Can you consider more? Your donation is needed to provide the character development, citizenship training, and personal fitness programs of the Boy Scouts of America in our area. As a not-for-profit organization, contributions to Crossroads of America Council, Boy Scouts of America, are tax deductible. Please help us to help our boys onto the right track.